Hello and welcome. My name is Chris from ChristopherHolt.com and welcome to this short series of videos where we're going to be looking at shin splints. We've got two parts to this video. So firstly, I'll just quickly overview shin splints and then I'll go into the two different types of shin splints that I've found from all the research that I've done over the weeks, over the months, over the years. So shin splints, as a general overview, is a condition of the lower leg. You've got the main sort of big shin bone known as the tibia, and the shin splints tends to congregate around that bone. And when we look at the two different types of shin splints, we'll start to look at sort of whereabouts and what it is and how we can go about overcoming it. So the first type of shin splints is known as medial tibial stress syndrome, or MTSS, and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons call this or describe this as pain along the inner edge of the shin bone. Basically, medial in anatomical terms is known as towards the middle or towards the midline. So on the inside generally of different parts of the body. So medial tibial, inside of the tibia stress syndrome. So they describe it as the pain along the inner edge of the shin bone. And what it's caused by is an inflammation of the periosteum. Now the periosteum is a part of the bone, or a part that wraps around the bone, and I sort of described it in the classroom when I'm up teaching as cling film that wraps around the bone. So if you can imagine, you've got this big long bone and then you've got this cling film and you wrap it around it. That's what I would describe as the periosteum, and its job is to allow tendons, more so than muscles, but tendons, ligaments, veins, arteries and nerves to attach. So it's what supplies the nutrients to the bone. Obviously there's calcium, there's phosphorus, there's various cells and organelles and whatever else inside the bone, and that all needs to be fed and given nutrition, and that periosteum is what allows that to sort of attach to the bone, so it's able to feed it. How we overcome this inflammation of the periosteum is improving the biomechanics. Now, the biomechanics is how you walk, how you run. So what we need to do is we need to improve those biomechanics. Now, it can be caused by an increase in intensity. So, for instance, if you're running, training for a marathon, and then all of a sudden you increase the mileage that you do. So what we then get is an increase of impact going through that bone. So it's not necessarily conditioned for that, or there may be a dysfunction in the muscle. So that increase in intensity is causing extra impact to go through that bone, to go through the periosteum, which is causing the inflammation. So by improving the biomechanics, by reducing the intensity at which we run, i.e. increasing the miles, so on and so forth, we can then offset this medial tibial stress syndrome. And the final one is to increase gradually. So as we're putting in the increasing gradually, our bone, our muscle should be conditioning itself to be able to cope with that. If I could add 2 or 3 more, it would be to increase strength of the feet. It would be to stretch the muscles of the lower leg, so the calf muscles at the back, and potentially, depending on the condition, it would be to stretch the tibialis anterior, which is the muscle at the front, which is the one that joins onto the shin bone. So there's some quick ideas of how you can overcome medial tibial stress syndrome. If you want to come to the website, I have got a program on there specifically for shin splints. So if you just click the link in the description below, and you'll find your way to the page. Okay, so my name's Chris. Many thanks. I will speak to you in the next video, or in part 2, where we're going to be talking about lateral shin splints, which is the other condition of the lower leg. Okay, many thanks. My name's Chris. I'll speak to you in the next video.